G'day, Webby here. This is the first time I've had the opportunity to give you a bit of a rundown of how the devastating fires of New Year's Eve totally destroyed this area of our beautiful Lake Conjola and the surrounding areas. So about 10:30 on New Year's Eve, I was in my office here at Lake Conjola, and this is the sort of view I have. It's actually just inside there. You see where my desk is. There's my filing cabinet, still in the corner. But from there, I have a view across the lake. And over on that headland, over there, it's called the Pinnacle. And about 10:30, I was having a cup of coffee looking. I saw a flash of flames out there. Now that's, by road, that's about 7 or 8 kilometres. By direct line of sight, you can see it's only about 2 or 3 kilometres. And I looked and saw a big flash of flames out the top. The Rural Fire Service and the authorities were fighting fires another 10 or 15 kilometres up the road. It got out of control and it raced down, all due to the northwest winds that were blowing that particular day. It was a morning just like this. The temperature was starting to rise. These winds are very gentle winds that are flowing now, are northwesters, and it got out of control. Jumped the highway on the western side and spread to the Pinnacles. From there, it jumped over to the West Conjola, and then I raced out and said to Mrs. Webby Walks, jump in the car and go. She had her bags packed. We had an evacuation plan. We didn't have this sort of time on our hands. And she raced up our road in her car. She drove up that driveway. She took off up there. 2 minutes later, she came back. In the meantime, I'd put all my firefighting gear on. I was so-called ready for what was going to happen. What I thought I was ready. She came back down the driveway and said, I can't get out, the road is totally on fire. So I got her out of the car and I put her down the basement down the bottom of the house, down the bottom there. There's an area I've just been doing some construction and I put her in there, and I came out and stood right at this point with all my so-called firefighting gear on, my long pants, my long sleeves, my gloves were tucked under my arm. I had my goggles, had a hard hat. I then came out, and the top of that ridge there, I saw a mass of flames. It literally went from one side of the ridge to the other. Line of sight, that'd be 400 or 500 metres. That's all it was. Then I watched it race down the hill. It then got into this corner of the bay. We have a little bay down in there. Got a little corner of the bay. And by that stage, it had come down to the bottom of this little ravine. And I watched it from the water right up to the top there. So 300 or 400 metres of flame. The whole bush is alight. It's as tall as these trees. These guys are 20, 30, 40 metres. Right to the top. I watched the whole side of my property just explode. The noise, the wind, I was nearly blown off my feet by the atmospheric pressure of the wind, of the fireball racing up this part of the bush. And it hit with such ferocity that I actually ran over underneath the carport of my house. Mrs. Webby Walks is safe under the house. I ran to the underneath side of it, and I stood there for 10 to 15 minutes, tops, wouldn't even be 15 minutes, while this wall of flames totally destroyed, and the whole bush just ignited. The whole lot totally ignited and started racing up to the top of that hill and that all just went alight. I am standing there, as I saw it minutes before, as I saw it approach, I just dropped my shoulders, even had a chuckle to myself and said, "You've got to be kidding me." It was just incredible. It was a raging inferno. I never ever want to see anything like that again. Got some damage, not too bad. I'm coming out of it all. But this is no time to blame anyone. Sure, we've been in a drought. This is all part of the climate change, I feel. You make up your own mind. But this whole area was backburned by the National Park 3 years ago. And it was all cleared up. It was all that backburning to this level of fire intensity had absolutely no effect on the devastation that this was going to cause. From there, as we walk around the property, as you can see, it's totally destroyed. But when I came back out 10 minutes later and started fighting the fires around, the spot fires that were raging, all the trees were still alight and the embers are just raining down. It's totally black and grey. You can't see a thing. It's not a stunning morning like this morning, like we regularly have down here on the south coast. But you can't imagine the intensity of it. These are logs that I have in a turning area leading up to my property. All the grass is all destroyed around here. But these are logs that just sit here. I stood here after the fireball went through with my hoses. These just ignited. Everything just ignited. Anything that was standing with the intensity of the heat just ignited. The big mistake I made when I first ran out and grabbed my hoses and started hitting the fires, or the spot fires, was I had my gloves tucked under my arm. The intensity of the flames, the heat in the air is where I got burnt. So it was just an incredible thing that I never want to get involved with again. So yeah, that's a taste of how my year started. It's actually devastated us. I never thought I could be so affected by something. It's just a materialistic thing. I am a half glass full sort of guy, as you're probably aware. And we will get on top of it. Again, all you people out there, family and friends, who've done an amazing job of supporting us, have made the journey just that little bit easier. But I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know how we're going. And we'll start getting some of those Webby walks out there. I've got lots of videos of the bush, what's happening, the devastation of it all, and hopefully give you a good picture of it. I'll just climb up here on top of one of my walls. Stay active, stay tuned, have a fire plan, and we will rebuild. Look, green grass is already coming back. Amazing.